Hi everyone, welcome to week 3 of Psychology of Play. So this is your welcome to week 3 video. So we're almost at the halfway point. Congratulations. So hopefully the first 2 weeks were an enjoyable and fun learning experience for all of you. So in this week's video, I will be going over the week 3 quests and assignment. So just like in previous weeks, everything on the dashboard is the same. You've got your open office hour on Wednesday. We have our live lecture on Tuesday. If you can't attend, that's fine. They're recorded. And then we have our option to listen to an audiobook, or you can just read the 3 separate readings you see there on the page. And then once you've completed that, you're going to work on your quest discussion for this week. So this is the one that's due Sunday. So it follows almost exactly the same layout as weeks 1 and 2. So this week you will actually have 5 quests to choose from. Exciting! So I'm going to go through each of the quest options for you. So quest 1 for week 3 is called Motivated to Grow. So the idea behind this quest is that you're going to choose a positive habit to focus on. This could be a habit you want to quit. Maybe it's a not so great habit, or it's a habit you want to develop. Maybe you want to learn chess. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to learn a new song, or you want to learn how to play an instrument. So it's something that's going to contribute to your life in some way, a habit. So you are going to choose that habit for Motivated to Grow, and then you're going to create what we call a mind map. Like just as you see there, it looks sort of like a brainstorming map. You're going to have your habit in the center, and then you're going to have 3 branches off to the side. You're going to have the actions that you're going to take, specific actions to meet your goal. So for example, if your goal is to get in shape, that's kind of a generic goal. So the more specific you can be, the more likely you are to work towards that habit. So specific actions for working out could include, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. I'm going to walk around my neighborhood for a mile or something like that. So specific actions. Okay, the other branch, second branch, is the benefits of meeting that goal. Working out is going to be good for your health, not just physical health, but mental health, right? So what are the benefits of that habit? And then finally, the rewards, how you are going to reward yourself. So this is where you get to treat yourself. So what's something special you're going to do if you have done everything you set out to do during the week, right? You've met your workout goals, you've met your juggling goals, like the example here, you've met your goals of learning an instrument. So what can you do for yourself, something fun, on Friday, Saturday, something like that? So I know your next question is, how do I create this? So there's actually an app right here where it says Mind Mapping app in the direction. So if I click on that, it gives you text. You can open up a box. So for this example, I just typed in, here's my habit, learning chess, so I can be awesome. And then I've already put the rewards here. And what it does is it lets you branch out. You just drag and drop. It lets you branch out different text boxes. So that is a super easy way to create your mind map. If you want to do it that way. But again, you're welcome to decide how you want to present that, as long as it includes your habit and those 3 elements: actions, benefits, and rewards. So these are just a couple of examples. I think this student used Canva to create this one for her workout goals. So again, she included those 3 elements. And then your mind map, that will be what you submit for that quest. Week 2, same as last 2 weeks, weekly plan. Again, keep in mind the categories change. If you've done this quest for the past 2 weeks and you're like, you know what, I want to give it a break, I don't want to plan anymore, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to keep doing it. However, if you want to do it all 4 weeks, since it is an option all 4 weeks, go for it. I have a lot of students who choose this as their quest to do every week. Just keep in mind that the questions at the bottom change, and there's a new chapter in the time cleanse to read. So for for quest 2, you're going to submit your weekly plan. Quest 3 is a very fun one, and I apologize. This actually should say user guide of Joshua. It should not say user guild, because the idea behind this quest is you are creating a user guide to yourself. So for example, for me, a user guide to Anne, what would that look like? Basically, it's going to tell people, hey, what are your strengths, your talents? What are you good at? What do you bring to a team setting, right? What are your strengths when it comes to working in a team? What motivates you? What's the best way for someone to work with you, right? So it's literally a user guide to you. So what you're going to include in this particular quest is a photo of yourself, and you can see the list of elements over here on the right-hand side. What motivates you? Your personal motto, This can be a motto of your own that you made up, or it can be a quote that really just stands out to you that you try to live by. So this student chose a quote in Latin, memento mori, basically means in a way we're all going to die soon, so make the most of the time you have now. So again, it's whatever you want your personal motto to be. Your grit score, so you'll see here in orange, it says grit survey. That is a link to a survey to take that is actually going to tell you your grit score. So it's only 7 or 8 questions. So once you go through this survey, it'll tell you what your grit score is on a scale of 1 to 5, and that is what you're going to include in your user guide. Other things to include are how you handle conflict and how you can help a team succeed. So part of week 3 talks about teamwork skills, conflict management styles, what are effective ways to manage conflict, i.e. not physical aggression being one of them. So it's up to you how you want to present the user guide. I think a student did this one in Canva. I've had students who created one by hand. They were artists and wanted to design theirs by hand, so that's perfectly fine however you want to design it, as long as it has those elements on it, and that's what you'll submit. Quests 4 and 5 are interesting because both of these options are ones that you can do with classmates. So Quest 4 and Quest 5 have to be done with 1 or more classmates. It can be just the 2 of you, or it can be 5 of you, but the idea is that you're completing this with classmates. So for Quest 4, you're literally just going to get together with 1 or more of your classmates and play a game. Right? So the idea is for students to experience all the elements of teamwork we're, learning about in week 3 in sort of a fun, playful setting. And what better way to do that than through a game? So these students played Among Us. All you have to submit for this quest is just a snapshot of your characters or of you all playing, a snapshot of your game. Sometimes students will choose to upload maybe a 2 to 3 minute video of their gameplay. That's fine as well. You can do in person, you can do tabletop gaming. If you have a group of people you want to get together, play Dungeons and Dragons with online. I don't know how you might make that happen, but you're welcome to choose whatever game you want for this quest, as long as it includes just this snapshot of the game you played in your avatars. And that's what you submit for that. So everybody on the team is going to submit the same thing. So you don't all have to create separate screenshots, if that makes sense, unless you want to. Ideally, you could just have one person create it and then send that to your other teammates. And then finally, Quest 5 is pep talk. So for this one, this is kind of cool. You get to record either a podcast or you can record a short video. You and 1 or more of your classmates giving a pep talk where you're offering advice for future Full Sail students. So what should a student know their first day in psychology of play? What would you want them to know about the class that would help them acclimate to the class, or help them acclimate to Full Sail, since a lot of students who take this course are new to Full Sail? What would be helpful things for them to know? So it can be as long as you want or as short as you want. There's no minimum or maximum length, just as long as it's giving advice to future students. So sometimes students will choose to do actually Quest 4 and 5 back to back together, because it's easy to knock both of those out if you're already getting together with a classmate to do one of these quests. You certainly don't have to do both of these for week 3, totally up to you. These are just the options that are available to you. So again, you have 5 quests to choose from for week 3. Don't forget to complete those. Submit them on the 3.5 quest discussion board. And then, of course, don't forget your 2 paragraphs to answer, paragraphs A and B. So paragraph B this week asks you to describe a specific moment or time where you really struggled to stay motivated or creative. It can be a time now. It can be a time in the past. And then finding a way forward. What is one strategy you learned this week that you can use to overcome strategies like that? How can you boost your motivation or creativity when you just sort of need that extra push? So that's paragraph B. So again, submit both your quests and your 2 answers to those paragraphs on the discussion board. And please don't forget to come back and respond to a peer on the discussion board, your fellow classmates. All right, that is week 3. Again, if you want to, you can make time for the live lecture this week. If you can't attend that, don't worry. It is recorded for students to watch later. And I just hope you guys enjoy week 3. And as always, if you have questions, concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help. So have a great week, everyone.